Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Okay, so today we continue with chapter 5, compound interest. Okay, an introduction of compound interest. Compound interest is calculated on the original or principal value and the accumulated past interest. When we borrow money from a bank, we pay the interest. If you want to know how much interest you will earn on your investment or how much we will pay above the cost of the principal amount of a loan, we will need to understand how compound interest work. Learning objective is to use the compound amount formula to find the future value, compound interest and present value of investment or loan. Okay, compound interest. Simple interest computation is based on the original principle which does not change from time to time. But compound interest computation is based on the principle which change from time to time. The principal value increases from time to time according to the compound interest rate. Okay, so dekat sini saya akan terangkan sikit apa maksud compound interest or apa beza compound interest dengan simple interest. Okay, so compound interest and simple interest, for example, okay, if you have P equals to 100, okay, so maksudnya P ni adalah nilai yang asal, nilai principal value. Okay, contohnya kita simpan RM100. Okay, so I calculate the interest. I equals to PRT. Okay, this one, if I put your R is 0.1 or 10%. Okay, so I get the interest is 100 multiplied by 0.1 multiplied by 1. Okay, this one for simple interest. Okay, so this one I get 100 multiplied by 0.1. Okay, so the interest is 100. RM 10. So it means that now your S is P plus I. So 100 plus 10 equals to 110. Okay, so this one for the first year. Okay, boleh faham? Yang ni yang simple interest dulu. Okay, so for second year, okay, second year, I want to calculate the interest. Okay, we use the same formula. I equals to PRT, which is P equals to 100 multiplied by 0.1 multiplied by second year. So, this one is equals to 10. Okay, so kalau tadi nilai yang sebelum tu adalah 110 untuk first year. So, untuk second year, maknanya 110 tambah dengan 10. So, second year is 120. Okay, yang ni saya ulang balik yang simple interest. Okay, apa beza dengan compound interest? Okay, this one. Okay, untuk compound interest, okay, this one simple interest. For compound interest, okay, untuk first year, pengiraan dia sama. Still I equals to PRT. So, your P is 100 multiplied by 0.1. For example, rate 0.1 and multiplied by first year. So, it is equals to 10. So, your S is P plus I. So, 100 plus 10. So, you will get 110. Okay, so this one you calculate for second year. Okay, this one for simple interest. But for compound interest, for second year, okay, I dia kita akan kira still use formula PRT. But now P you need to use 110. So multiply by 0.1 multiply by 1. So yang ni beza. Yang ni kita still ambil, kita tetap ambil 100. Sampai beberapa tahun pun simple interest kita still guna PRT, which is P equals to 100. But compound interest, kalau tahun pertama, bila dia ada interest 10 RM10 contohnya, and then so for nilai dia tahun pertama dia akan jadi S equals to 110. So bila tahun kedua kita akan ambil nilai ni sebagai principal. So dia akan jadi 110 kat sini. Dia beza, yang ni tetap 100. Kita akan guna P yang sama. So that's why dia kata kat sini Simple interest computation is based on original principle. So kalau P awak 100, berapa tahun T berapa pun tetap guna 100, which does not change from time to time. But compound interest computation is based on the principle which change from time to time. Maknanya dia akan sentiasa berubah dekat principle. Okay, so this one for differentiation between compound interest and simple interest. Okay, some important terms. Suppose RM1000 is invested for 5 years at 10% compounded quarterly. Okay, so kita contoh kat sini, original principle is the original amount invested denoted by P here. P is 1000. Okay, so kita ada original principle which is P is the original amount invested denoted by P. Here P is 1000. So dalam ayat ni RM1000 is your P. Interest period is the length of time in which interest is calculated. Thus the period is 5 years. Kita ada interest period kat sini. So this one we call interest period 5 years. Number of interest period in the investment period denoted by N, where N equals to MT, T in years. Okay, kita akan ada yang ni. Okay, satu term yang baru, number of interest period which is N. N formula dia adalah M multiply by T. Okay, T in years. Okay, yang ni yang baru. And then this one, frequency of conversion is the number of interest period calculated in a year denoted by M. So kat sini kita ada formula N equals to M multiply by T. So we know that T is in years kat sini. Kalau kat sini 5 years, so it means that your T is 5. Okay, so how about M? So M kita tahu, so M ni sebenarnya adalah yang ni, frequency of conversion, number of interest period calculated in year denoted by M. Okay, apa maksud dia? Dia akan ada ayat dekat sini, yang ni. Bila compound interest, dia akan ada ayat compounded quarterly. Okay, for example this one, compounded quarterly. Dia ada perkataan compounded. So kalau quarterly, kita tengok kat sini. Kalau annually, this one is M. So M equals to 1. Maknanya dia cuma compound sekali dalam setahun. So dia kira dalam setahun. So kalau dia ada perkataan compounded annually, so your M is 1. Yang ni awak boleh tetapkan sendiri. Kalau dalam ayat tu dia kata semi annually ataupun every 6 month. Maksudnya every 6 month awak ada 12 bulan. So setiap 6 bulan dia compound sekali. Then 6 bulan lagi dia compound sekali. So your M is 2. Okay, kalau dikata every 4 month, so kita ada 12 bulan. Maknanya setiap 4 bulan. 4. Maksudnya M dia akan sama dengan 3. Then quarterly or every 3 month. Setiap 3 bulan. Kita ada 12 dalam setahun. So kalau setiap 3 bulan, 3. Okay, then every 2 month. Setiap 2 bulan. So kalau kita ada 12 dalam setahun, so 2. So awak akan di-compound 6 kali dalam setahun. Okay, monthly. Monthly means setiap bulan. So setiap bulan maknanya setiap bulan kita ada 12 bulan dalam setahun. So your M is equals to 12. And then weekly. Weekly setiap minggu. Okay, setiap minggu. Weekly means 52. Sebab kita memang ada 52 minggu dalam setahun. And then last one, daily. Daily maksudnya setiap hari. So we have 360 days per year. Okay, so yang ni awak boleh hafal. Dan tak hafal pun tak apa, awak kena fahamkan. Okay, next, nominal interest rate. Okay, is the interest rate for a year together with the frequency in which interest calculate in a year denoted by K. Here, K is 10%, compounded quarterly, that is calculate 4 times a year. Okay, nominal interest rate ni kalau sebelum ni kita panggil R kat sini, 10%, tapi kat sini kita just panggil dia sebagai K. K is 10%. Sebab apa kita kena fahamkan beza R dengan K, sebab kalau compound interest kita guna K. Sebab kita dah tak guna R dalam formula. Okay, then last one, periodic interest rate is the interest rate for each interest period. Thus, the periodic interest rate denoted by I in this case is given by I equals to K over M. So yang ni awak kena ingat lah satu lagi formula, I equals to K over M. So kalau dalam case ni your K is 10%, then M ni awak tengok lah, kalau dia kata compounded quarterly, so it means that your M is 4. Okay, so let we discuss example 1. Okay, example 1. Find the periodic interest rate if A 5% compounded annually. Okay, so kalau dia nak periodic, okay, so this one kan kita dah tahu periodic is I equals to K over M. So kalau dia kata 5% compounded annually, K is 5%. Okay, compounded annually, so your M equals to 1. Okay, so 5% divided by 1 is equals to 5, so 0.05. Okay, kalau B 12% compounded semi-annually. Semi-annually maksudnya kat sini 2 kan, tu 2 kali, so semi-annually is 2, so M equals to 2, so 12% divided by 2 is equals to 6%. Okay, so you try to solve C, D, E, F. So tengoklah kat sini, compounded quarterly berapa nilai M, compounded weekly, compounded monthly, and compounded daily. Okay, this one is an introduction of compound interest. Okay, Assalamualaikum. So we continue with compound interest formula. Okay, the compound interest formula is as follows, which is S equals to P 1 plus I power of N, where S future value or accumulated amount, P principal value or initial value, I periodic interest rate, and N number of interest period in the investment period. The compound interest I is the difference between future value and principal value, that is I equals to S minus P. Okay, so this one let I explain. Okay, kat sini first untuk compound interest formula. Okay, kalau simple interest, okay, we know that you can use formula I equals to PRT. Okay, kenapa untuk compound interest kita tak boleh guna this formula? Because this one, P, macam kita kata tadi, dia tak berubah, not change for simple interest. So P dia sentiasa tetap. Okay, but for compound interest, if you use I equals to PRT, so for the first year, P dia mungkin, for example, 100. And then for second year, P dia mungkin 150, sebab dia akan menggunakan P yang baru. So this one you cannot use formula I equals to PRT walaupun dia adalah interest. Tapi since dia adalah compound interest, so first you need to find S. S ni future values. Yang ni macam kita dah belajar sebelum ni, kita ada P present value, and then kita ada S. Kat tengah ni kita ada interest. So it means that for compound interest you need to find S first. So the formula of S for compound interest is S equals to P 1 plus I power of N. And then we know that I equals to K over M, and N is M multiplied by T. So this one is formula for S, and then after you get S, okay, for example 2, find the future value and the amount of interest of RM2000 which was invested for. Okay, so this one first dia suruh cari future value. Future value means S, and amount of interest means I. Okay, so first 5 years at 8% compounded annually. So 5 years, T equals to 5, and then 8%. K K equals to 0.08 or 8%. Okay, then you need to follow this one, compounded annually. Kalau annually kita dah belajar nilai M, so annually M equals to 1. Okay, so first you need to find I equals to K over M. So K is 0.08 or 8%, divide by M equals to 1. So you get I equals to 0.08. And then the value of N, formula for N is M multiplied by T. So M is 1 and then multiply by T 5 years. So you get here 5. So to find future value, which is S equals to P1 plus I power of N. So substitute P, this one, P dia dah bagi kan, amount of interest RM2000. Okay, so your P is 2000, 1 plus 0.08 power of 5. So this one, this is your future value. And then next one is interest. Formula for interest is S minus P. So your S is 2938 and minus P 2000. So you get RM 938. This one interest. Maksudnya untuk compound interest awak kena cari dulu S baru dapatkan I. Okay, B 4 years and 6 months at 12% compounded semi-annually. Okay, so it means that your K is 12%. Catat dulu semua information. M. Okay, M dia kata compounded semi-annually. Maksudnya setengah tahun dia compounded. So dalam setahun, it means that dia akan compound 2 kali. So your M is 2. And then your T is 4.5 years. 4 years, 6 months. 6 months ni you need to change to years. Okay, so your N is M multiplied by T. So 2 multiplied by 4.5. So you get 9. Okay, now you substitute into future value formula. So you will get 3378.96. And then after that, you can find the value of I, which is interest. I equals to S minus P. So you get RM 1378.96. Okay, this one, how to calculate the compound interest formula. Okay, next, you can try to solve example 2, C, D, E, F. Okay, example 3. Okay, example 3. RM 500 is invested for 5 years. Find the future amount and the interest received at the end of 5 years if the investment earn 10% compounded quarterly. Okay, sama juga dengan example 2. So you need to put the info here, which is P equals to 500. Catat dulu maklumat. Your T is 5 years. Your K is 10% compounded quarterly. Maksudnya 1/4 kan suku. So your M equals to 3. Sebab dia compound kan 4, 8, 12. So your M equals to 3. Okay, then you substitute into formula and then you need to find first S and then another one you can find I. S dengan I. Okay, so try to solve example 4, example 5 and example 6. Yang ni dia bagi nilai P yang berlainan semua ni. Yang ni RM1000, yang ni 5300. Okay, so you just follow this step. Okay, next. Example 7, Sarah deposited RM4,500 into a saving account that earned 10% interest compounded quarterly. How long will it take for the investment to become 10,946.41? Okay, for example 7, first dia bagi nilai P. Dia kata dia simpan 4,500. Okay, then saving earn 10% interest. So your K equals to 10%. Compounded quarterly. Okay, compounded this one compounded quarterly, so it means that your M equals to 4. Okay, how long will it take for the investment to become 10946.41? So dia bagi nilai S 10946.41. So maksudnya dia tanya T, how long maksudnya dia cari nilai T. Okay, so this one awak gunakan formula yang sama untuk future value, which is S equals to P 1 plus I power of N. Okay, then first step ganti dulu your S equals to 10,946.11. This one kan, ini nilai untuk S. And then nilai P yang ni 4,500, 1 plus I. Okay, formula I which is K over M. Okay, since K 10% and M is 4, so awak akan dapat kat sini 0.025. This one is the value of I. Okay, so dah dapat nilai I. And then M multiply by T. Okay, M multiply by T, your M is 4. Kita dah ganti M ni dengan 4, tapi kita tak tahu nilai T. So, bila awak solve sebelah kanan, dia akan dapat 1.025 4T and then equals to 2.4325. Yang ni awak kena gunakan algebraic. Cara nak pindahkan nilai mula-mula 4,500 ni pindah sebelah sini. Kan, macam 10946.11 bahagi dengan 4500 sama dengan 1.025 4T. So solve yang ni dia akan dapat 2.4325. Okay, then next. Okay, so next dia akan dapat nilai ni. Okay, then bila kita nak turunkan 4T dekat atas ni, so it means that you need to put log kiri dengan kanan. So baru kita boleh turunkan. Dia akan jadi macam ni sebenarnya, log 2.4325 sama dengan log 1.025 4T. So yang ni lah dia akan jadi yang ni, 4T log 1.025 sama dengan log 2.4325. And then yang log sebelah kiri ni bawa ke sebelah kanan. And then yang ni just tinggal 4T. This one you can use calculator. And then your 4T equals to 36 and T equals to 36 divided by 4. So it is equals to 9 years. Okay, so yang ni cara nak kira benda yang sama, cuma dia beza, dia nak cari nilai T. Okay, so you can solve example 8. Example 8 ni pun sama, dia bagi dia deposit 6,400. This one P, so yang ni S, yang ni K compounded semi-annually, yang ni nilai M. So try buat example 8, 9, 10. Okay, then last one, example 11. Okay, example 11. At what nominal rate compounded every month will an investment of RM 3,000 accumulated to 3809.20 after 2 years. So dia nak nominal rate. Apa maksud nominal rate? Yang tu adalah nilai K. So sama juga macam tadi, still guna the same formula. Okay, kita catat dulu. Your S is yang ni, sebab jumlah terkumpul 3809.20. And then your P, sebab dia kata invest RM 3,000, so your P is 3,000. And then T equals to 2 years. Apa lagi dia bagi tahu kat sini, compounded every month, maksudnya setiap bulan dia compound. So your M equals to 12 setiap bulan. Okay, so same with this one. Tadi awak masukkan S. Okay, this one the value of P, and then 1 plus K tu sebenarnya dia daripada formula I equals to K over M. This one kan, tempat I ni sebenarnya formula dia K over M. So M kita dah tahu, M equals to 12. So cumanya kita tak tahu nilai K. So awak just tinggalkan tempat K, and then this one M T. Okay, so yang 3,000 ni bawa sebelah sini, dia akan jadi divide 09.20 divide by 3000, so dapat 1.2697. Okey, yang ni 1 tambah K per 12 kuasa 24. Okey, 24 kuasa 24 pindah ke sebelah sini, dia akan jadi punca kuasa 24. Okey, so punca kuasa 24 dia akan dapat 1.01. Okey, yang ni tinggal 1 tambah K per 12. 1 bawa ke sini, dia akan jadi tolak. 1.01 tolak 1 dapat 0.01 equals to K over 12. So nak dapatkan K 12, pindah sebelah sini, dia akan darab dengan 12. So your answer is 0.12 or 12%. Yang tu bila kita nak tukar pada percentage. Okay, so now you can try to solve example 12, example 13 and example 14. Okay, so this one semua yang saya ajar ni adalah untuk compound interest formula.